everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, and I hope this evening finds you well. We are having a beautiful night here in the Pacific Northwest, but as I was getting on, my husband was telling me that there's going to be rolling blackouts in the Portland area, which is crazy because I don't ever remember having reports of rolling blackouts. So whole new situation for us, as far as I know, here in the Portland area. Luckily, it shouldn't be in my little neck of the woods here. So hopefully our show will hold steady for tonight. So anyway, and for those who are experiencing the rolling blackouts, make sure to have all your candles and your goods ready to go. So all very interesting, all new to me. It brings back so many memories of 2020 when we had all the fires around us in Portland and we were actually evacuated from our home. Such a strange, strange time. And of course, fire season is upon us again. So all of those who are out there struggling with the fires and the people who are helping take care of those fires, sending so many prayers out to you all now to stay safe and healthy. So, tonight I was contacted by somebody on my website and they were asking for a reading. Actually, I had a couple people reach out to me. One in particular, their loved one had just passed away about a week ago. And there wasn't much in the request for, wanting a reading, except I could feel through the email and the request, the heartbreak, the emotion, the grieving that they were going through. And, a lot of times people desperately want to get in touch with their loved ones on the other side. Are they okay? And do they have a message for me? And maybe there was some unleft business that, they're hoping to repair, whatever it is, whatever reason they're reaching out for a reading. It's really hard for some to have a reading so close to the passing of a loved one. And the reason being is because when we're in that space of grieving and the loss and the heaviness, our human brains are having trouble wrapping our heads around the fact that this person is no longer with us. And we're in a fog. We go around in a fog, we just kind of move through life. Sometimes we don't even grasp some of the things the conversations, things that people are saying to us, or the situations, and you'll look back on it, a year after that and go, wow, I don't remember anything during that time period, right? So it's when something like that happens and they're reaching out to a psychic, reaching out to a medium, looking for answers, looking for help, looking for, that little piece that says, yes, my loved one is safe and they're on the other side and they're doing great. It's sometimes really hard to hear. And sometimes, the brain just can't wrap its head around it. And so, I look at each person, of course, individually. But sometimes I have to say, I feel what you're going through. I can feel the heartbreak and, just that fogginess. And it would be in their best interest to wait for a little while, a couple of months at least, to be able to help and to be able to wrap their brain around what is going on. And sometimes that's really hard for clients to understand. Well, why won't you give me a reading? Well, it's not that I don't want to. I'm looking out for your highest and best, right? You're going to get so much more out of it. You're going to get so much more acceptance from it if you give yourself a little bit of time, that time to settle in and that time to grieve, and for you to be able to process what has just happened. Now, that's not for, of course, for everybody. Every person is very different. Um, but I have had some cases where I've asked them, kindly to get back to me when they've had a couple of months to process, because it's a lot for a person to take in, the loss of a loved one, and depending on how that person is connected with them, the loss and the feeling can be even greater than another loss. Not saying that one is more than the other, but it depends on the connection the person has with that. So in that respect, um, it really helps to have that little bit of time in between to go through everything and go through the motions, so that you can have a little bit more of a clear head, so that you can understand some of the messages that are coming through. They probably will be, some messages might be harder than others to process anyway. So if you can have a little bit clearer head, open mind, it makes the reading that much nicer, enjoyable, whatever you would like to say, for the person sitting on the other side of the table. So, I know that when everybody is in the middle of it, that's something that's really hard, really hard to understand. And of course, the first thing they want to do is reach out. So if you find yourself in that situation and you're looking for that psychic or that medium, take that in mind and say, can I actually digest and hear what that person is bringing through, the messages that they're bringing through? And you might find that yourself that you say, no, I need to wait for just a little bit longer. So there will be a time and a place, and your loved one is still going to be here with the same messages. They're not going anywhere. So that message will still be there when you are ready for it. And so will your psychic or your medium. All right. Wow. Okay. So let's go to the phone line. Sorry, that might have been a little bit heavier than I expected it to be, but somebody needed to hear that today. And I was guided to bring this information up. So there you go. Right now, we're going to go to the phone lines. We have Linda in Michigan. Good evening, Linda, and welcome to
Hey.
Your Time to Shine.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. What can I do for you this evening?
Well, I was just wanting a reading.
Okay. Is there something specific that you're looking to ask, or are you just looking for a general reading?
Just a general.
Okay. Perfect. Let me tune in here for just a moment. And as I do, there's just going to be a little moment of silence, and then I will be right back with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, Linda. Um, so one of the things that I'm picking up is that you're going through a shift. It's like you're waking up inside. Um, Almost like they were showing me, like, from being ice, um, going into the warmth of the sun and the ice melting. So going through a period or a stage in your life where you maybe you felt frozen inside, or things around you felt frozen. And now it's like that period where you're opening up and you're shifting and things are starting to move and happen for you a lot quicker. And you're thinking, oh, okay, now I see where this is going. Um, there's been some stagnation, I guess, is what they're kind of showing me. Um, in your life, things not moving, or maybe not moving as quickly as you had hoped. The plans that you had made, maybe not moving or um, going in the direction that you were thinking that they were going to go in. And so now this shift is happening. And so I see bigger things happening over the next, I would say, 3 months, like towards the end of the year, where some of the things that you had planned out are going to start showing up for you. Okay. I'm being shown like journaling. Have you been journaling some of the things that you're asking for or wanting for in your life?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like they're verifying. They're saying, hey, Linda, we see all your requests. We see what you're asking for in your life, and we are responding. Okay.
Okay.
Things are shifting and opening up for you too, as far as spiritually. And it's like your gut intuition is on high alert. Have you noticed that you are paying more attention to your, what they would call gut reaction, or your gut senses?
Yeah, more than what I was.
Yeah, exactly. So what it's doing is it's opening you up to that intuition of trusting your gut and trusting what you're feeling. Okay. So more and more of this is going to come through. And so if you want to practice kind of that gut feeling, that intuition, and what that feels like, is start asking small questions and seeing how you feel, how you react to that question, right? So start out with something, something minor. If I had tacos for dinner tonight, how would that make me feel? Is that what my body is asking for, right? And see how you react to that, and start working with those kind of gut instinct feelings, because as you do, they're going to get stronger and stronger, and you're going to become more and more intuitive of what it is that you need to know in your life, and what direction you need to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you like pick up on any like death around me?
In what way? Like someone who has passed recently?
Well,
Or
my husband passed away like a little over 2 years ago, but we've still got some family members sick. So
oh, I see. Okay. Um I don't see anybody. They're not showing me anybody in the immediate near future. Um, they are showing me that there are a couple of family members who are sick. They're kind of waving their hands at me and saying, that's not something that needs to be uh, that needs to be shown right now. Reason being is because they're kind of showing me like this like this 50-50, like it's really in that person's court, right? And that person hasn't quite decided, subconsciously, of course, um, whether to stay or to go. And so
Okay.
as we go through our life, there are times where we can exit, right? And it really is up to our soul and our soul contracts and what we've learned in this lifetime to say, okay, are we complete with what we know right now? And is it time for us to go or not? And then that becomes the choice of the soul.
Okay. So that's good.
Okay. Um, they keep bringing writing up. Are you a journalist, or do you do a lot of writing in your job? Because they just keep showing me writing with you.
I write a lot in my journal, like, well,
Okay.
off and on here lately.
Okay. Okay. So they're saying keep that up. You have a real knack. You have a real talent for verbalizing through writing. Um, you can be even very poetic. And I'm not saying like writing big long poems, but the words and the way you put things together, there's this certain grace around it all. And it's like you get in there and you start writing, and you could be writing 2 or 3 pages at a time. It just goes and it flows. And so,
Exactly.
they're saying this is a perfect way for you to get in touch with your guides and your loved ones on the other side, right? Because they're going to
Okay.
put in words, they're going to put in phrases or sentences or little clues that only you would understand. And that's them communicating with you.
Okay.
Okay. Have you gone back to like read any of your journal entries? Like, go back a couple of months or, maybe even a year if you have, journals that old. But have you gone back and read any of your entries?
Yeah, some of them.
Okay. Because they're saying for you to go back and reread some of them and see if some of the things that you were journaling about have become more apparent, or has it come into fruition, right? Or do you understand more about what you wrote then that you may have been thinking, I don't understand what that means at all? So what they're saying is go back and revisit some of those, because you're going to see how some of these things are coming more clear, they say, for you. Okay.
Yeah, like some of those is like really a dark place. So
Those are just your shadows, and we all have them, right? So it's
yeah.
bringing those out into light so that you can understand them, so that you can be in awareness of them, right? They're
Okay.
saying they're not being brought up to scare you. They're being brought up to analyze and to release, because that's the biggest thing, um, with our shadow side, right? Is bringing that out and exposing it so that we can release it from our bodies, so that it doesn't stay within us, right? It's a healthy
Okay.
way of being, okay?
Okay.
Um, they're saying that you can also take some of those journal entries, like um, uh, some of the darker pieces of it. You could actually use those as releasing, like if you would write and release on a full moon, and take that piece of paper and do a ceremonial burn with it. Okay.
Okay.
So that might
Okay, I
help
totally
you
understand that.
release some of that. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, perfect.
Okay. All right.
All
Well,
right.
thank you
Well,
so much.
you are so very welcome. Have a wonderful night.
All right. You too.
Okay. Next, we have Lisa in Florida. Good evening, Lisa. Welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hi. Thank you.
How do you pronounce the town you live in? New Smyrna?
New Smyrna Beach.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yep.
Welcome.
It's one of the
What
best
can I do
surfing
for you?
places in Florida. So it said.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice. Do you surf?
Oh no, no, I don't like to go
Yeah.
in the ocean. Too many things touch
Oh,
me.
oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't surf either, but I do love the ocean. So what can I do for you this evening?
I was kind of just wondering about maybe a sort of, am I off my path that I'm supposed to be on? Um, what's
Right.
the universe got in store for me? Because I feel like it's snowballing me.
Okay. All right. Um, it's interesting. I'm getting a move. Are you thinking about moving and relocating?
I would like to, yes. Right now, we stay with me and my son stay with my friends.
Okay.
I would like to get our own.
All right. Get your own place. Are you thinking
Yeah,
of moving out? It's really interesting because I'm seeing you move out of either the city that you're in, or maybe even moving out of Florida altogether. Um, but there's a big
possibility.
move. Yeah, there's a
My
big
bucket list
move
has always been
happening.
to move out west.
Okay. Yeah, they're showing me that, believe it or not, that Florida really isn't resonating with you right now. Um, that you're shifting and changing, and it's kind of pushing you in a different and a new direction. Um, and I think that's why you're feeling this big upheaval, right? You're feeling this uncomfortableness, because you're being pushed into something new, to a new adventure, a new start is what they're telling me. Um, and so for you, it's feeling very uncomfortable. Um,
Yeah, kind of like a burden.
um, yes, yeah, it just feels very, very heavy. Um, so I think that's an indication that maybe that's not where you're really supposed to be right now. That there's going to be something different. I see you around a lot of trees. I see you very you said you don't like the ocean, but I see you very drawn to trees and nature. Um, so that's why
Yeah,
I'm being
I
shown
am.
that Florida just really is not where your heart lies anymore. It was at one time, but not right now, not anymore. Um,
Yeah, that's probably true.
yeah. So you're going through a shift and a change, and that's why you're feeling this upheaval. Okay. Um, you're not on your path, okay, but it's just shifting and changing, right? So you're still on your path, but it's like you're moving off to the right hand side just a little bit, right? And so it's creating a shift for you. And it feels like you're going to be, starting a whole new life, a whole new chapter, a new job, a new place to live, a new city or state. So it feels very big. And so I think that's where you're feeling all of
coming up
this.
soon?
Yeah, it feels like it. It feels,
soon?
yeah, it feels like within the next few months, even. I feel like this shift is going to happen.
Happy.
Yeah, it feels like this shift is going to happen very quickly. Like maybe possibly a new job is actually going to direct you where you're supposed to be going. So stay very open to the job search, to conversations you have with people, because something is going to come up in a conversation and you're going to say, oh, wait a minute, I need to check something like that out. Okay. And then that's going to lead to something else. So, yeah, definitely pay attention to those conversations.
Okay, I will for sure. 'Cause I'm hoping for something. I'm hoping for a change.
Yeah, I really think that the change is coming. And it's probably coming a lot sooner than you think. So, stay diligent on that. So,
Do you see, like, I mean, am I going alone or am I going, like, with family or my friends going with me?
it feels like you've got somebody else going with you. Whether that be you and your son, it feels like it's you and your son going somewhere together.
That's a really big move.
Yeah, it is. And Lisa, we are coming down to the last couple seconds of our show, so I do have to say good night, but I want to thank you so much for calling in tonight.
Thank you so much.
Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. That does it for me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. You can reach me over on my Facebook pages at Julie YeagerWalker Medium and Your Time to Shine, or wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. Have a great evening, everyone. We'll see you next week.